Alright, hello.
Hello.
I'm here with Matthew Morse. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Alright, now we are actually at the piano bar where you played yesterday.
I did.
Well, what happened yesterday? Yesterday was a pretty awesome night.
Yeah, yesterday the boys and myself, we got together to do sort of a documentary film release of a tour that I'm doing coming up this summer. And yeah, they were here to sort of capture the piano bar vibe and what we do musically.
How did you feel about yesterday?
I felt pretty good. I thought it was probably seriously one of the best times that we've ever played. I don't know if it was the pressure of the fact that the cameras were on us, or whether or not we actually were just that good, or the crowd. It was a lot of things, but it felt very good.
Well, it was really good, and I liked the energy, and everyone was singing along. I was singing along.
Good.
I was afraid I was going to lose my voice for this interview.
Well, yeah, I've lost mine from singing last night, and then today I did a thing, and yeah.
And what did you do today?
I did a Stageit.com internet sort of show. Again, sort of promoting the tour and promoting myself, and yeah, I did it with a good friend of mine, Noah Ng, who he did an interview too, right? So yeah, so everyone probably knows who he is. He's very talented too, and yeah, him and we did this thing together today and last night, and it was I feel well, but yeah, my voice is different.
Well, thank you for having your voice heard right now.
Yeah.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from Portland, Maine, originally.
Wow. Cold, isn't it?
East Coast, yeah, freezing weather. Not a lot to do. And yeah, I grew up there. I grew up at least around New England my entire life. But I was born in Portland. I went to high school in Maine, not in Portland, but right outside Portland. So
what did you do when you were in Portland?
I mean, when I was there, I was there until I went to college, which was a brief stint. But I was in Maine. Let's say my formative years, high school, what we did was we drank a lot and went to Dunkin' Donuts. That was pretty much it.
So that was all. That was it.
I mean, that was it. I actually did pick up a guitar every now and again, but I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea what I'm doing now on guitar, but I had very, very little, like, knowledge of guitar back then. And yeah, so we played, drink beers, smoke cigarettes, and eat donuts, and hang around and do absolutely nothing. We were kind of goofy.
Were there any struggles when you were out in Maine, or like obstacles, or when you moved here?
Well, I mean, yeah, when I lived in Maine, like I don't come from rich parents or anything like that. I know when we lived in when my parents are separated, but when my mother and I lived in Massachusetts for a bit. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment. It was very tiny, and she was a cocktail waitress, and whatever. I mean, I didn't have a lot of luxuries that some of my classmates always had, but I kind of always knew I wanted to get out of Maine and wanted to go do something different, like not just be a person that just kind of born here in New England and then just gets married here and starts a family and just whatever. So I knew I wanted to leave as soon as possible, and I took that opportunity when after my first year of college, when I had a family member who's kind of like a brother. He lived in San Francisco, and I moved out, and I lived in San Fran for like 3 years.
Okay. So did you was it just like you knew you were gonna move away? So was it like time, like it was like a couple months, or was it just I'm gonna move and then just packed up and just?
It was sort of like I went out to visit him for a spring break when I was on that first year of college, and it was in April, when spring break is, and I went out there, I visited, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move here. So that was April. I moved to San Francisco that September. Yeah, so I just packed up and just drove cross country. and lived there. I lived there for 3 years. He actually ended up leaving after a year I was there. But I ended up being there for 3 years, and I thought that was a great city to be like a sort of. It was almost like my first Sony. It was like my first city where I felt like, I'm on my own. I'm out of Maine. I'm doing my own thing. Kind of discovering myself, wondering what niche. And I started acting. That was what I was doing up there.
Oh yeah.
Was acting, and I got involved with a theater company and did some theater and stuff like that. And
right on.
Yeah.
Were you like singing and acting, or is it more acting?
No, there wasn't a lot of singing. I mean, I've always sort of sung along to stuff and that person, but I then moved to New York after San Francisco and went to a acting school and graduated, and then was doing plays and stuff, and then moved here to Los Angeles to be a singer, or not a singer, I'm sorry, to be an actor. And it wasn't until I realized I hated acting that I decided to move back to Maine, and I think I was building furniture for a while. But then I realized I hated building furniture and moved back out here to Maine, or moved back to LA and started writing music and playing music. So, and then,
so just out of the blue, just like when did you move to Los Angeles?
I moved to Los Angeles initially in 2004, I believe. 2005. It was like one of the then, and I was here till 2007, and then left for 8 months back to Maine, and then moved back to Los Angeles. Stayed on my buddy's couch for 14 months, unemployed, and that's when, while he was going to work and doing his own thing, I was left in the apartment, and I just saw a guitar over there, and started playing it, and I saw a computer in front of me, and I was like, hit record on GarageBand, and I wrote a song, and someone was like, it wasn't bad, and they told me to go out and do a little show. So
now, since you said you played guitar when you were in Maine here and there, so was it easy for you to pick up the guitar and start playing, or was it just kind of
back when I was living there? No, I mean I didn't know anything about guitar. My father is a hairstylist now, which is oddly enough too. I actually got licensed in between that entire story I told you. I actually got licensed to be a cosmetologist or a hairstylist, which I don't do anymore. But I do for friends, but I don't do it professionally. My father was in a band when I was younger, or before I was even born, I should say. Met my mother, had me. His band never made it, and kind of just grew up though with music. My dad taught me about Beatles, Zeppelin, all that stuff. Grew up listening to that type of music. My mother can't carry a musical note, but my father can. And like when I was in high school, I was like, I kind of want to play guitar, and he was like, well, I can show you some chords, and he did. He showed me the basic stuff, which is still the fundamental of everything that I play. But I started just doing the chords that he taught me, and I was terrible and everything. But I just sort of played, and I can't read music, but I think maybe the ear was there, maybe that sort of passed down through him. I was able to pick it up, and so I kind of always played through high school, but I never really wrote a lot of stuff. I never thought that I would be doing it, currently right here, right?
Well, you do it really well.
Well, thank you very much.
And